BBC, fake news, BBC, fake news.
So I'm back here with my good friend Danny.
There is an island in the Mediterranean where prosperity is a way of life.
Company! Forward! Right!
So Annie, we've been out for a little while now. What are your thoughts so far?
The island of love. The island where Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, was born out of sea spray on this very beach. There's the scent of lemons in the air, figs too, and pears, almonds and sesame.
Hey Annie, so what have you thought about tonight then?
Well, it was an amazing, peaceful event.
Bells. You hear bells all over this island. Bells beckoning you to a gay fair or a quiet church.
He bloody made me walk so much
What?
today.
It's your fault.
There's a few people I want to say thank you. BBC, fake news.
Both of you.
Yeah, loves.
Yeah, I love you. This is Britain, and throughout history, we have all been able, British immigrants, pretty much anyone, we have all been able to coexist peacefully and make Britain great.
Hazel, one of a team of 3 reporters, has been accepted
Oh, yeah,
into the
that-
inner
yeah.
circle of the woman who could become leader of UKIP, Britain's largest party in Europe.
Yeah, like they're all going to get shot and stabbed.
Yes, like you're waiting for a gun to jump on your head or something.
Sponsored by
Repeat
an
that clip
apparently
of
close
Anne-Marie
associate of
saying Islam
Anne-Marie
is a killing
Waters.
machine.
Well, it is.
It is, yeah, exactly.
It's spreading killers
But
anyways.
this is what they're doing. They're putting, all this national
She's waiting
front
for a
stuff
video
in
call
and-
National
to
Front,
Norwegian
Anne-Marie
man
G.I., National
Torre,
Front,
Yeah.
Anne-Marie
one of the
G.I.
group's senior figures, to vet her.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we always want to have a chat with people before we bring them to our meetings.
Yeah.
I think that UKIP and other groups that are very rational, they maybe want to stop the immigration, but we think that if you stop immigration to England, that's good, but you still have a problem with the birth
Fact.
rates.
Even Douglas Murray talks about it in his book.
Yeah.
Fact.
Could you tell me a little bit about yourself? I mean, how old are you?
How horrible asking
Yeah,
for background
so
information
I'm
to know that you're not bringing in your group a criminal or
Find
a neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
normal people
Yeah.
want to get involved and we train them.
After the
By
30-minute video
training them,
call,
teaching
it
them
seems Hazel has
self-defense,
passed this
teaching them how
first
to read
test.
literature, providing summer schools for them, and basically
Hazel is given access to the secret
healthy
GI
stuff,
Facebook
you know,
group.
instead of going out,
She's told to
getting
meet at a
drunk,
pub in North
committing
London.
crimes. Oh.
But she has to be incredibly careful. Other activists post
Incredibly
messages
careful.
warning all new members of being subject to what they call extreme vetting.
Too many secret journalist investigations exposed them. Everybody was vetted
Exposed
to be in
them.
this
No, they didn't. You
At
don't
the
even
pub,
know what
Hazel is
exposure
greeted by a
means.
group of young men.
That's by the way, that's not exposing. That's
Anyone
basically
watching would think they were just a group of
documenting
students.
going on in public.
Yeah.
Like the only white man in my road, basically. So for young people, your only options are to go out every weekend, get fucked up, take drugs, listen to house music, degenerate music, watch degenerate videos, fit guys, fit girls, breed or intelligent. Like they can choose what team they want to play for, even play for the degenerates or
Some of these young activists boast about attending generation identity camps in France for military-style training.
Depends on what they're doing. It all
Someone tells me on Twitter, someone said,
oh, you're a degenerate.
You look degenerate. You don't look English. Someone actually said to me, you don't look English. Like it's degenerate. And I said to them, yes, maybe because you read, you can see that I'm not
The
English.
activists say they had to reject one new recruit because he'd put neo-Nazi posts on Facebook.
Degenerate behaviour, really. You know, because some people think that having premarital sex is degenerate.
So you can describe the behaviour like degenerate
early stages.
I'm assuming that's
the
what they mean
generation
by it
identity.
anyway.
It seems that image is very important.
I'm assuming they disagree with something that you do.
Okay. No, he was actually commenting on my looks. He said I don't look English.
Until the results of the UKIP leadership election are announced.
Well, then, yeah, he's using it to, you know.
Basically, was saying that I have black
is
hair.
favourite.
Like, I don't look English.
Yeah.
Hazel is invited to join her for drinks after a rally in London.
Well, I spoke in this march
They're
with,
joined by Liverpudlian Jordan Diamond,
with Anne-Marie, and we all went out for
Generation
drinks
Identity
later.
Contact.
Nothing racist took place when
Sitting
I was
within
there.
earshot of Waters,
It was just genuine
Jordan
gathering
asked
with
about
people.
generation identity.
We had Israelis people on this meeting here.
Well, they do have a basis on ethnicity. We don't want to be replaced.
I don't know when, but by the way, Jordan is speaking and Anne-Marie is not even listening. She's
Yeah,
looking
I
at
know,
her
right?
phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So try to relate any comment that took place here with Anne-Marie. It's just a bang on.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not going to. No one's going to.
And I also don't know when it became such a tampoo to talk about your
Who
ethnicity.
could in
There's
just
nothing
7
wrong to
days
talk about your
become
ethnicity. It's
one
your
of the mainstream
ethnicity.
political parties,
Whatever that
tells Hazel the
ethnicity
EU is
no.
conspiring to transform Europe into an Islamic state.
Well, many people believe that, you know.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory or not, what the numbers, the figures, and the policies of the EU are showing us is like someone is trying to fucking replace us. And we do.
I don't think it's necessarily like a conspiracy to do it. I think it's,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's just like the policies. This is what they are bringing.
Yeah.
With the policies they are adopting, this is what's the outcome going to be soon.
Well, the thing is, you've got countries like Germany and Sweden turning around on their own and saying, "Come to our country."
Actually,
The pub
my
owners
flatmate
told
was
us they
saying
had
that
no
the other
connection
day.
with
It's
the
like,
group we filmed there.
Regardless of the EU's view on it, they're just like, "Oh, come to our country," and it's like, "Well, hold on a second."
A week later, and UKIP's annual conference begins in Torquay.
Ooh, a UKIP annual
I was
conference.
there
It's
as
going to
well.
be so racist, isn't it?
Hazel is asked to give Waters a lift to the conference.
in Torquay, by the way, it
Waters
was
is
a
known for
lovely,
extreme
beautiful,
statements.
amazing
I seen you
place.
just before you went to
car,
Torquay because you came
in
around my
Prague.
house.
Yes, I
Is even
popped in
more
his
fun.
house and then
Yeah.
I went to Torquay. What a beautiful place it is. Did you return my equipment? No.
No, it's not.
The way they are in Muslim countries, they can't bear the idea of British girls being treated like
Anne
Exactly.
Marie, you're
Well-
such a horrible person. Can't bear the idea of girls being raped.
Yeah, I know, right? It's such a terrible thing of that.
Please be careful. You don't want to be associated with someone that cannot bear girls being
No,
raped.
no.
She also says she would be happy to let Tommy Robinson join the party if she wins. Despite
Democracy.
his
Democracy.
Democracy.
Why have people got this fucking
Well,
stick up there?
Tommy Robinson has a criminal background for
And?
whatever
And?
reason.
And?
So he cannot stand in elections legally. That's the law in our land. I'm sure Tommy Robinson respects that and is not going to stand for elections. He cannot anyways
The
legally.
next day in
But
Torquay,
he can join
with
a
Waters still being
party.
tipped to win,
And if
they're
Yeah,
joined
people,
by
exactly.
campaign
and if
manager,
people want
former
him
BNP
to,
activist Jack Buckby.
look, he was way up.
Because of his previous
Democracy.
membership of the BNP,
Again,
he can't
we're
officially
bring
attend
Jack
the
Buckby
conference.
back up.
I know she's really loyal, but I don't want to screw her at the same time.
What a horrible person Jackie is thinking about his friends. What a horrible person.
See, he's admitting his past. He's like, yeah, I got a past.
Waters
He's being
tries to
honest.
avoid many
Shit,
official
what am I meant to
events,
do with that?
but journalists keep tracking
Jack,
him
you're
down
so
outside the
considerate.
conference
How
centre.
can you be such a horrible
The tone is
person?
very different to the car journey with Hazel
These
the
people
day
are
before.
idiots. I'm not even.
You described Islam as an evil religion.
And also, Jack's involvement in Anne-Marie's, he was not secret at all. At the launch of her manifesto, where I was there,
But do
Jack
you think
gave a
overall it
speech.
is an evil
He
religion?
actually introduced Anne-Marie. How much more open can you be?
Exactly.
Out of earshot of the surrounding press pack,
She's my friend. She's
Waters is
lovely,
less
lovely
nuanced.
lady, lovely lady. Well, it is.
Waters goes into the
The
conference
fundamentals
centre to
of
hear the
Islam,
results. Hazel waits at her hotel.
In second place, with 2,000.
Look at these horrible people carrying out their flags, their country's flags. How dare they?
21.3% of the vote share was Anne-Marie Waters.
Waters comes second, ahead of 5 other candidates.
That's the thing, the media's been
Anne-Marie
dealing-
comes
Bolton, a
second
relative
out of
unknown,
5 candidates
beat her
after
and
they
8%
banned
more
about
of the
2,000
vote.
members that actually joined in exclusively to vote for Anne-Marie. Oh, very democratic there, is it?
Truth. It's as simple as that. The truth sounds extreme when the truth has been pushed out.
Jack Buckby comes to collect Hazel, and they race to the conference centre to collect Waters.
And how horrible Anne-Marie.
Well, how evil of Jack. is
Yes,
going,
rush
you know.
to save his friend and
Yeah,
be
yeah,
there
yeah.
for his friend.
Yeah, exactly.
And how horrible of Anne-Marie to actually, her whole life is based
Oh.
on the
In the
fight
bar,
of
they are
Islam.
joined
Like,
by
she was
Generation
probably
Identity
really
activist
emotional when she
Jordan
just said that
Diamond.
about it being fixed. I don't know if she actually...
I was there. Can you pause
Yeah.
this? I was there, you
Yeah.
know, and I saw this woman as soon as the elections results were announced, and we went to the hotel. I was sat opposite her.
So you're out of shot there.
Yes, and this woman, I promise you, on my mom's life, she was just repeating over and over again, almost all night. And girls will continue to be raped, and I can't do anything about it. Girls will continue to be raped, and I can't bear it. The woman just, and I personally had to tell her, Anne-Marie, take a minute, breathe, and think of yourself for once. And also, very intrusive. That was a very personal moment for Anne-Marie, sharing with a bunch of people, 5, 6 people, the closest people that we was the closest people of her there, and recording that moment is very intrusive to someone's. But it's like because any loss is like you can equivalent it to bereavement or something.
Yeah.
And having a secret camera in my face while I suffer for any loss, it's just, I don't know how to describe, evil.
People losing. I'm sick of. I'm pissed off with Kip. Builders didn't win. I'm pissed off with where the pen didn't win.
If you start a party and get the pen and builders over,
Right on the issue of this.
council elections early next year.
While most would consider ISIS a death cult, Hazel sees Waters tarring the entire religion of Islam with this label.
But my big answer to finish the answer to your question is my big disappointment is that jihad
social welfare
and truth about it is silence.
But it's the thing, the moment you say anything about Islam, you're deemed as far right.
Grand battle against the fascist death cult. We are.
She said she's against the fascist death cult, which Islam is.
Yes, and also, you know what? Let's go back into history. You couldn't criticize communism. You couldn't criticize
UKIP told us
the Nazis.
it allowed Waters
You
to
can't
stand
criticize Islam.
based on a
Anyone
belief that
who's
its
supporting
membership
that?
had a right to decide whether UKIP should become a single-issue anti-Islam
Nothing-
party.
Nothing at all should be off the table of discussion.
Thankfully,
Everything.
it comprehensively rejected that
Exactly. This is
approach.
democracy.
Ms
People
Waters
should
is no
have
longer a
what
member
they
of the
say.
party, having discovered that her extreme views have no place in UKIP.
But UKIP done a massive mistake.
Nearly 70,000
when
race and
their
religious hate
leader
crimes
and
were
Farage
reported
actually
between 2006
addressed-
UKIP, as always.
Yeah. We're called racist even by then.
and 2017, an increase of nearly 28%.
UKIP is starting to call you
Oh,
The success of Waters, as well as increasing support for different groups across the far right, is a serious concern, according to experts, particularly with their use of the internet and social media.
Their ability to intervene in community conflicts, to intervene in issues around grooming, issues around terrorism, to kind of demonise a whole community is going to kind of whip up tensions in communities where tensions exist already.
Not all.
Only you
We've
let this guy
underestimated
say that.
social media has effectively put a turbocharge on extremists.
Nobody cares about
far right
colour.
extremism, far left extremism, and also the extremism associated with various faiths. And it's something we need to be aware of and we need to be alarmed about.
Coming up,
They're killing our
Hazel
kids
comes
and they're
face to
making
face with
documentaries
Generation
about
Identity's
that,
Austrian
we're
leader.
just words.
The package, you have to do the indigenous Brits and you become a minority in your country.
And fears she's about to be unmasked.
Like they're gonna take your life away. This documentary
Our
is getting
reporters,
from bad
Mary,
to
Sarah
worse
and
and
Hazel
worse and
are still
worse.
undercover.
It's like it starts like
Mary
a
is on the
pattern.
trail of far-right activist Julie Lake. After months of talking online and missing her at the National Front rally, Lake says Mary can come to a meeting at a secret location in Preston.
I'm sure there was no secret
Sarah, too,
location.
has been monitoring what will be a large
Maybe
gathering
taking
organised by a
precautions from
neo-Nazi.
lefty crazies.
Yeah, exactly.
She's discovered some of those due to attend have links to National Action, the first far-right
What
group
is this
to be
National
banned
Action? Is it
under
banned now?
terrorism
Yeah, I believe it
legislation.
is. Apparently they're like a paramilitary group. But
And why are they mentioning it's banned?
Well,
Finished.
the thing is I don't think banning groups is a good idea. I
Unprecedented
think
for the
debating
Home
them and
Secretary
making and
to make a
if they're actually right on
organisation
something,
prescribe
agreeing with them,
also
if
it's
they're
an
right on
acknowledgement of the size and
something,
scale
I bet you it's
of the
because
far
of
right
it.
problem
I bet
in
it's
this country.
they've probably got some
And there's a
like
lot
crazy
more we're
idea
going
on
to
how
do
to
about
deal
it.
with Islam.
To
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. They've been banned.
A neo-Nazi youth group set up in 2013.
I think banning
National Action celebrated the murder of MP Joe Cox.
And
recruited
obviously, if we
scores
don't
of
know them,
20-something
that
men
we're
and
in
women.
this shit, it's like they're not important enough.
Yeah.
Why are
Oh,
you
that's-
making them
yeah,
important?
4 years,
Oh,
Okay,
it's
fine.
anti-Semitic.
it becomes very, very clear
well,
that
then definitely
there's
fuck
a
these
schism
guys.
in this organisation.
They wouldn't like me
There are
either.
people
Well, yeah,
who
exactly.
no longer want to
They
do
definitely
the
wouldn't
dressing
like
up
me.
game,
Crikey.
who no longer want to just do the secretive meetings and the martial arts. There are people in this organisation who want to be the terrorists.
It's not so much secretive
Since the ban,
meetings, it's knowing
alleged
that we're
members
safe
of the
and not gonna get
organisation,
attacked by
including
anti-
serving
But
military
crazy
personnel,
Antifa,
Yeah.
because
have
we can't
recently
go
been arrested,
anywhere.
and some now face trial on terrorism charges, including 2 in relation to an
They
alleged
keep
plot
showing a banned
to
group.
murder
It's
an
banned.
It's
MP.
banned. No one's got an
Yes,
issue. Like
get
now
over
that
it.
we realise that it's banned for. But again, I mean, I don't think banning's right. But
It's
I
the
mean,
day of the
I get why
meeting.
the government have done it.
Yes.
Mary and Sarah are on their way
Keep
to
showing
Preston.
it. Why? They just want to create fear, man.
Well, they
But
wanna
like
make it-
the article that Tristan did about our march,
Oh, yeah.
it's like the KKK.
It's not until they're at the
that day
station
would
that the
yeah,
organiser
walk through
calls
the
to
city
give
of
details
Bristol.
of the
It's
event
like,
location.
It's like actual neo-Nazis would walk
Yeah.
through Bristol. And we had Ishmael leading the fucking march,
Yeah.
dressed in his traditional
Sarah is
Islamic,
first to arrive.
whatever they wear at the march.
She meets Mark Collett, a former
Ishmael actually
BNP youth
confronted
leader
them and
who has a
asked
regular
them, like,
online talk
why
show
am
with
I a
American white
neo-Nazi?
supremacists.
Why am I a white supremacist?
He's just been in Europe.
We actually told him we don't have to
Like,
actually
no
read
degenerate,
volumes.
everyone's white, and any lefties that turn up get their heads kicked in. I thought, this is perfect. Like, I might move, if I can speak Latvian, I'd move to Latvia.
But then he goes and he does a fair
Mary
article
arrives
about
soon
our
after.
case. Go figure with Chris.
And then finally, after nearly a year,
Oh, so
she is
weird.
face to
Do you know someone
face
asked
with
me if
Julie
I'm sleeping
Lake,
with you? That's how fair they
who
are.
tells her to prepare to be shocked.
Oh, yeah.
Things you hear you won't agree with, right? You think really quite awful, but that's the thing with nationalism. It
And who
has
is
this
she?
range.
We keep seeing her and seeing her. Who the fuck is she?
And I'm gonna
Inside
take
the
a guess
meeting
stab in
room,
the dark here and
Julie
guess that
Lake
Anne-Marie
says she has been
Neville's
corresponding with a member of National
I'm pretty
Action
sure.
from his
all
prison
these, well,
cell.
especially
So
these
just to
people
put
here
your
talking
mind at
about
rest,
whites
it
for
is being
rights and
treated
Brexit
well.
being
He just needs
for the
lots
rights
and
of
lots of
whites. It
support.
was, oh my days.
The meeting organiser speaks next and says Holocaust deniers are heroes.
Especially,
Oh my God.
especially anti-Israel. Anne-Marie wouldn't be associated.
Especially
attended a national
anti-Israel.
action
She's so
demonstration before the
pro-Israel.
group was
This
banned.
guy is clearly far
says they're
right.
not
I mean, saying that
terrorists.
Holocaust deniers.
These young men in National Action are labelled as terrorists simply for speaking out in defence of their racial heritage.
But even them, they actually may say one sentence that we actually might agree. You never know.
Yeah.
Julie Lake gets up to speak.
And the thing is,
the most senior woman in this
And
extreme
the problem
far-right
is, this is a
movement.
heritage testing, whatever it's called. And
these meetings, I just have to say,
Jack Buckwheat, so Hazel quoting one of their magazine. Jack Buckwheat told you to put this
She
down.
starts
You
with a
don't want to go
warning
down
that
that
interracial
road.
breeding will
That
cause
was
the
Jack
extinction
Buckwheat,
of the white
guys.
race.
Actually
It says
advising
groups
Hazel,
across the
those
far
two
right
extremes,
must
you don't want
unite
to
to
go down
achieve
that
real
road.
power.
But they never put that one in.
We can't sit around it.
I know this for a fact.
Got to get
And there's no
behind
way Anne-Marie has associated or would ever associate with these people. These lot see, are
And they
clearly
did,
far
and
right.
this thing don't see it. If Anne-Marie has him on
Other
her
speakers say
side,
recent events
he's
have
clearly
given
not
them hope.
anti-Jews. He's clearly not for
Brexit was in
rights.
fact the ultimate expression of the will of our fellow Britons to enforce what was just 20 years ago, 20 odd years ago, a very famous
your leg is
DMP
horrible. It's
slogan,
fat, you fat
arguably
cow.
the most famous and effective
It is, isn't
of
it?
all nationalist slogans. Rights for
That's a
whites.
micro
Brexit was
Actually,
about rights
just
for
by
whites.
how she is, how she looks, you can figure out they're fucking spy. Usually those weird, not looked after,
They've been emboldened
smelly,
by Brexit. They've been
other
emboldened
aggressive
by
left. No, that's
the kind of rise of the right in Germany in particular.
Well,
And because of
Christ,
social
that's
media, they can take part in each other's conflicts in a way, in each other's
And how
political
the fuck
battles in a
does
way
he
that
end up
they
to be
could never did
specialist?
before.
I have no
From
idea.
Hope No
After
Place.
the event,
How the
Sarah
fuck does
is
he
given
end up
lift
to be
back
a
to the
specialist?
station.
But proven by
She's
the
shocked
police
to
a
hear
liar
these
for putting out,
activists
do you know
praise
the case?
Hitler.
No, I don't know the case.
Who is the enemy?
After Jay Cox's murder, he opened a case with the
Oh, hang
police.
on. That's something.
He opened a case with the police about reporting hate crimes of right-wing people, extreme right-wing people that were celebrating the Jay Cox murder. And the police launched an official investigation and they found out he overestimated by 300%.
Well,
Like out of 50,000 incidents he reported, only about 350 turned out to be true. This guy, there's an article out there, this guy was proven a liar by the police, but somehow he's still the expert to talk about this documentary.
Well, yeah, he's the main role in this. He's the main person talking, explaining this so-called far right.
Is the fucking media are playing with people's minds. They're so giving the wrong message.
Yeah.
And unashamedly so.
Like, don't get me wrong, there is bits in here that are genuine far right, but they just glossed over that bit just to make it seem like Anne-Marie is part of it.
Yes. Or make a documentary putting only that.
Yeah.
And show that you can only do about 10-minute documentary because that's how few they are in this fucking country. You have to include all of us to actually make a documentary.
Oh, crikey.
In particular, and because of social media, they can take part in each other's conflicts in a way, in each other's political battles in a way that they never did before.
I know.
After the event, Sarah is given a lift back to the station. She's shocked to hear these activists praise Hitler.
Okay, well done. Well done,
You found
guys.
one person,
I'm
1 year
proud.
undercover. 1 year undercover, you found one person.
To the radio, you hear my camp. We've got audio.
Yeah, the first book's much better than the second.
Mary, meanwhile, is getting a lift with Julie Lake. Lake's been friendly, but travelling in the car with her and two men from the meeting, Mary gets a stark reminder that violence is never far away.
I've already been attacked by the anti-fash once at the Southwest Forum.
Been attacked by them before.
No, that's like
they want to all guillotine everyone. They want shooting them, fuckers, shooting dead.
Well, okay, no, we don't want to go around shooting people if they're far
Julie
lefties
Lake told
or
us she
if
has
they're
never heard
fucking
threats or plots to harm
hardcore
others.
Islamists.
She
We
says
send
she
them
has no
to jail, put
associations
them on
with National
trial.
Action and knows two members
All right,
only
well
through
done. That's
previous
the
work with the
second or
BNP.
third thing they've actually
The
had
meeting
in
was
this documentary
pan-nationalist,
so far.
and she did not know who
and
was
we're like
attending.
41
She had
minutes
never met
in.
the two occupants
I
of the
know,
car.
it's about to
She
finish
does
in
not
10
agree with what they
minutes.
said. She said her purpose in nationalism is not hate of one race, colour or religion. Mark Collett told us he takes no responsibility for other speakers at the event, and his comments were made in jest. He says he has no association with National Action and has repeatedly made clear that he does not support or condone terrorist activity. 3 days later, Julie Lake tweeted this about us.
Got someone to check out their office today. It's just a unit in some shithole opposite a used car lot and a plumbing depot.
I don't know why I found that funny.
Hazel,
but I did.
meanwhile, is still undercover with the woman who nearly became leader of UKIP,
Well, she's not
Anne-Marie
still anymore.
Waters.
You've blattered her face all over the TV.
Waters is due to speak at a conference run by the Traditional Britain Group. They've called for the voluntary repatriation of immigrants, including Doreen Lawrence. At the secret venue in central London, Hazel sees Waters and Generation Identity's Martin Sellner, who's also speaking. Inside, she meets Waters' associates Jordan Diamond and Jack Buckby.
Oh, Jack Buckby, remember
The crowd
him?
of over
BNP,
120
yeah,
includes
remember?
many young
BNP.
people. And once again, neo-Nazi Mark Collett.
I know, I thought I looked at him and I was like, I recognise him.
Jordan talks about attacks on Muslims, suggesting they are inevitable.
No one wants since 7/7. What has been done to protect us? Nothing. No violence.
In her speech, Anne-Marie Waters says Western white culture is superior and is being destroyed by Islam and its alliance with the left.
The left wants the white majority, let's be frank, to be completely powerless. Multiculturalism tells us very, very clearly
If you want to
that our
look
culture is no better than anyone else's.
cultures of the whole planet and judge all cultures of the whole planet, you will realise that the Western white culture is superior.
Is no one.
But that doesn't mean we go out and, judge people because of that, obviously. If you just look at it rationally and look at the evidence...
Martin Sellner is up next. Like Waters, he suggests action must be taken to preserve indigenous Europeans against the destructive threat of Islam and immigration.
Oh my God.
This problem is called the Great Replacement. It's a combination of our low birth rates and of massive immigration, and it will lead to a complete replacement of our population.
But I don't see a problem with us having low birth rates.
The Traditional Britain Group say they are not far-right or anti-Semitic and oppose all political crime and terrorism.
And yeah,
But they do overbreed us.
Oh yeah. When it comes to that, I mean, you just have to cut down on the immigration.
The next day, Hazel is invited to join Selma, Jordan and a very
honest,
select group of activists
Muslims that
from
live in
across
this
Europe
country, we
at a
can't turn
training
around and
session.
go, oh, you can only have 2 kids, because that would be authoritarian.
Selma says
and I
they
don't
are
want
not
that.
racist,
So
despite their
we say,
entire
cut down on the
message being the
immigration,
fight
deal with
for
the ones
white
we've got,
Europeans
and,
against Islam and non-white immigration.
Have more babies if you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly can say, of course, no, we are racist. We just want to preserve our own ethnic culture.
Selner says they have contact with American white supremacists and anti-Semites,
No,
but suggests
they
they
don't.
don't do this publicly as it would damage GI's brand. He says Jews were a problem in the 1920s, but now the real opponent is Islam.
I completely understand that in the 1920s people
Right,
said
sorry,
there's
who
a
is
truth
it saying
question
this?
compared to an Islamic
Alright,
immigration.
well,
The American
the one that was at the thing with
American
Anne-Marie
right
Waters.
is again
No.
dominated
Yeah.
by anti-Semitism, by the Jewish question.
Oh, by the way, they
Completely-
didn't put in that the first 15 minutes, you can search it online.
Right.
Anne-Marie, when she spoke to the traditional group next to him, she said, because the traditional group had some history with anti-Semitism, she just stood up there and said, I distance completely myself from the Jewish subject and your obsession with Jews. I'm here to speak about this part, what I believe. And that's it. She distanced herself completely. But maybe there are potential voters, you don't know. There were elderly people, because traditional Britain is quite an
Well, at the end of the day,
older age movement.
She wants to be a politician, yeah. So unfortunately, she has to listen to
Exactly.
and talk to people that we will disagree with. It's not.
And it's
having
having
it
debate.
strategical and theoretical failure, in my opinion.
And obviously, fuck this guy who's saying about the Jewish question in the 1920s.
But he
The
came
next
out,
day,
and
staged
said,
their
when I
first
was young,
action.
I
Just
fall
after
into
sunrise,
I'm
they drove a
Austrian,
huge banner
very
across
popular in
Westminster
Germany,
Bridge
I fall into this propaganda.
and uploaded
I'm
another
out of it
provocative
now.
video on
Where I
social media
stand
to
is
spread their
different.
message.
He said that under a cover. Why do we focus on the fact he was, not on the fact that he isn't for many years now? It's not like just because he was caught, he
Hazel
changed.
has to stay away.
He said undercover.
The activists might be stopped by police and she can't risk being unmasked. She joins them later. For the first time, she senses they're suspicious.
Oh, yeah. Look, just normal people sitting down, dressed normally.
The atmosphere is edgy, but
Look,
Martin
like
Selma
having a
is
party
pleased
and
with the
she's
morning's
presenting it like
activities.
For them, it's like a declaration of war, that we went there, that we put this on this
Selma continues with his warnings of the extermination of white Europeans.
If you have the British people, and you have all these people quarreling, you have the Pakis, you have those, you have the indigenous Brits, and you become a minority in your own country, it's the biggest crime ever, you know?
Selma says he was an anti-Semite
Obviously,
in
if
his
he
youth.
keeps using the word
Other
Pakis, because there are
activists
people
discussed
there
the groups he
never
was
met.
involved with after
Obviously,
lunch
the people
and
he's a
make
man, he's a
offensive
foreigner. He
comments about the
doesn't know it's a
Holocaust.
taboo. This is the only country in this world is a taboo.
Yeah, well, I don't think it should be. Free speech should be able to say what the fuck you want.
There's nothing smart about that, like just saying, oh, it's exaggerated.
Then the atmosphere changes. Selma has announced that someone else in the group is an undercover reporter.
I would just write a tweet about her and making fun of her, that we exposed her.
Oh, what a
Hazel
dangerous,
feels
what
she
a
is now
violent
being
way they've got to
She
treat
leaves quickly and does
spies.
not go back.
Obviously not
Generation
dangerous
Identity
people.
claimed
Just
this
tweet about it
programme
and
is a
make
hit
fun.
piece,
Yeah.
with remarks and speeches taken out of
Oh, but that's
context.
the thing with
They say they don't
progressive
have a hidden
left, is
agenda,
that anything
want to
you see on
preserve
social
European
media is
ethno-cultural
kind of used as hate
identity,
speech.
and would not work with American
I mean, I
groups.
told you about this girl
Jordan
that-
Diamond told us he is not a racist.
Tweets
No
at the
indigenous
local
population
MP
should
saying,
become a
"Jump in the
minority in
sea."
its own land,
What
and
you
he
said,
does not
yeah.
condone violence. The man in the pub told us he had only received self-defence training in France.
Self-defence training.
Anne-Marie Waters told us she opposes racism, anti-Semitism, misogyny and oppression, usually associated with the far right.
Oh my
She has clearly and consistently said she does not blame all Muslims,
Can't go
but is
anywhere.
criticising the Quran, and it is her fundamental right to do so.
It is her fundamental
What others
right.
say at
It's all
events
our
is not her
fundamental right. End
responsibility,
of discussion.
and she does
There
not
is-
agree
there
with
is no
every view at
discussion.
events she speaks at. She did not try to conceal her involvement with Jack Buckby, and Jordan Diamond is not a close associate but a
Fucking
supporter,
spoke at her event.
and won't be
Jordan
welcome at
Diamond
future
is a
events.
supporter.
She says
That's
much
it,
of what we
yeah.
recorded on covert camera
She
she has
speaks
said
to
in
her support.
public.
She speaks to
She doesn't
everybody.
believe the UKIP election
She
was a
should be, she's
fix.
a politician.
Jack Buckby told us he explained to our reporter how dangerous neo-Nazis are, and he left the BNP partly because of anti-Semitic abuse.
Yeah,
He has
well,
never
fair play.
condoned violent activity
Where's
or
fuck
terrorism
anti-Semitism?
and deleted his tweet
He
because it was
so
not
many
clear.
times.
He says he abhors the far right and is not a racist. He does not condone the views of Jordan Diamond and has nothing to do with Mark Collett. He
Well,
says
this
he talks about
documentary, Jordan
Islam
hasn't done
but does
anything.
not demonise the Muslim
Like,
community.
You just said, oh, this guy is with Generation Identity, and that's it. And he was in a room.
But they
Buckby
fucking
and
ruined
Waters
his
associate
life.
Tommy
But they
Robinson
fucking-
has
yeah, I know
previously
they have,
doorstepped a
right, but
journalist
they
at their
had him in
home at
that room
night
where that guy
and
was
posted
saying
the video
something.
And of
online.
course.
It's like it's been taken
After
out.
receiving our
course.
findings,
And
Jack
how's
Buckby
that,
and Robinson
Jordan?
posted
And
this
of course
disturbing
I have to
exchange
shoot
about
her.
our
Oh yeah,
reporter,
yeah. Bring back
Hazel.
Tommy Robinson to
I'm
because
gonna
he
show
is
us this
literally
bitch, yeah, we
media
can.
enemy.
Exactly.
He's the media's enemy number one. That is it.
They make him sound like he's a
After
top
their
Nazi
time
in this
undercover
country.
came
Yeah,
to
yeah,
an
yeah.
end,
Fuck.
Yeah.
all of our reporters
Gee,
receive
yeah, it's
abuse
crazy,
online.
mate. Trust. Especially in the
They've
left, they
seen, after
fucking
12
hate
months
Tommy
inside
Robinson.
Britain's far right,
They're
Hate
so
him.
a
obsessed.
confident
yeah,
and
with
ambitious
Tommy, yeah.
movement
Like, the
with the
moment-
potential
like,
to
I've
gather
done- I've put
more
stuff up on
wide-ranging
my
support
Facebook
than
with
ever
Tom-
before.
involving Tommy, and
For too long,
most
the
of the time,
authorities
it's
have
not a comment
defined
about what
the
Tommy
far
said
right
or me
as
sharing
kind of
it. It's
skinhead,
just-
tattooed,
what is it, his real
you
name?
know,
Stephen
traditional
something?
Nazis.
Yeah, it's just
These
his
people are
name,
far
and
more
that's it. And
dangerous.
it's like, yeah, we all know.
Police
He
and
writes,
government
his name
need to have a
is
greater
mentioned in his
understanding of the
fucking book,
impact
Enemy
of
of the
social
State, like
media and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
far
yeah.
right interaction
Yeah.
on social media. they reach far bigger numbers and wind up far bigger numbers than they've
Yeah,
been
they're
able to
getting
reach
bigger
before.
because of dumbasses
What's
like you,
different now
mate.
is that you have social media.
You keep saying racist,
platforms,
Islamophobic,
providing a much easier vehicle
you
for
make people
extremists
angry.
to expand, to grow, to flourish.
You make them want to
In
join
some
those
ways,
people just to prove you,
youngsters
just to
can
show you
be
them
radicalised
stick
in
their
Islamic
finger in your
extremist
face.
narratives. For youngsters to be radicalised in far-right narratives as well, it's the same
Even
phenomenon.
he had to tweet the other
The
day.
tragic
He was banned
murder
from
of
Oxford
Joe Cox
University
last year
because
was
he spoke out
a point in time. It was a wake-up call as to what can happen if you allow these narratives to flourish and to grow.
So,
what, Tommy?
No, this guy, the commentator
civil
from
society.
Kate.
What?
And we was all tweeting like,
Pull
oh,
its weight.
Nick, it
If we
happens
don't
to
take
all
up
of
the
us,
slack,
the
we
best
don't
of us and some of
challenge
the
them with
worst of
the things
us.
that they're doing very
And
well.
he was saying
These
the
small
aggressive
groups
left
of
just
you know,
gone mad. You can
lunatics.
find the tweet on his timeline.
Won't just be a big noise that they are on the internet.
But the thing is, he's still regressive left.
And he's still a regressive left, yeah. Those people are so brainwashed they cannot actually even see the reality.
Yeah. So that's it. It's over.
Speechless. Speechless.
Oh.
I'm actually speechless.
It's just full-blown propaganda.
It just boils my blood. It almost
Obviously,
to the
there's
point
genuine racism and anti-Semitism in the far right, yeah? In the real far right and the racist groups. But is Anne-Marie part of that? No. Is For Britain part of that? No. UKIP? No. Jack Buckby? Definitely not. He left that shit, which... Oh, and of course, you know, rub it in that Tommy Robinson. Just bring up Tommy Robinson.
And Paul Joseph Watson, just because you hate his
yeah,
guts.
yeah. Just because.
What did Paul Joseph...
Now, don't get me wrong, I disagree with Paul Joseph Watson on a number of things. But what the fuck have he got to do with this?
The madness is unbelievable. And the rub it in our faces. Well, you know what? They didn't get the attention they
Did
wanted.
you mention that they also put in about how Tommy's new show, they just used the graphics to highlight it? You know, it makes me actually want, because I don't have a membership to Tommy Robinson's new show, but now I'm going to get one.
But do you know how many tweets I've seen? I've never knew who Anne-Marie was. But I really know I'm going to search her and join the party. Do you know how many tweets I saw?
I don't blame them at all, because that's what this thing has done, is it's pushed just normal working class people, just normal, even middle class people who genuinely don't know about these things, seeing this and going, well,
but look
I agree with some of that.
Look how far they pushed you. Look how far they pushed you. One of their own, preferring to hang out with us, finds more logic and reason with us, but disagrees with everything with us, just because we speak sense.
Yeah. Well, you lot won't turn around and go, oh, well, obviously you'll turn around and say I disagree with me, or say I say something and you're disagreeing with me, but you're not going to threaten me with violence and try to shut me down.
But what? They threaten their own with violence. They threaten you with violence.
They
threaten him with violence. That's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, that's absolutely beyond madness.
It's crazy. So I'm actually going to put a link to the whole video so you can watch it on your own if you want to, in the description. But it's pointless. The whole thing was just...
What a waste of money, energy and effort for them. What a waste. Who's paying for this? Is ITV the government funded? Please.
No, it's private.
Oh, I was worried for a minute.
Advertisers have paid for it all. You know, ITV have probably give the production company a grant and then they've done it, and that's it. But they've pointed out one or two actual genuine things, and yeah, that's it.
Not enough for a documentary.
You could do a 10-minute video on YouTube.
Yes, just do a 10-minute video on YouTube. You would get more viewers if you did a 2 minutes and 20 seconds and upload it on Twitter. You would probably get more viewings. Like, those people are idiots. Who watches ITV at 10:40 in the night anyway?
I haven't watched ITV.
What kind of crowd does that? I don't even pay my license.
I don't either. But that was the first time I watched an ITV thing in, I don't know,
How
5,
many years?
6 years.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't watch TV at all. But I think what we should do, because this was just utter bullshit, is I reckon we should do 2 videos. One being the actual far right and pointing out their actual flaws, and where they are wrong and stuff, and then a video of our experience within the so-called far right, because what we've seen is because it's not far right what we've been
But we've discussed this before, to make a video of your experience hanging around with us and hanging around with the lefties, and my experience as an immigrant.
Well, yeah, exactly. That will be the other video.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we've learned. Unless you've got any other thoughts you want to add in?
I'm just speechless. And that's the second time I watched it. Yeah, that's just. See, it looks even more crazy to me now than the first time I watched it, because I paid too much attention to it. It's unbelievable.
Anyway, let us know what you think, and bye.
We did this at the same time. Did you notice? Oh.
We're synced up. That's why.
Hearts.
Stop flashing me your tits.
Oh, I can't, Jay. You're so tempting.